We had another question from Mary R. Mary writes that Canada's economic response plan for COVID has seen a lot of money go to individuals and businesses, which is great to keep the economy functioning. But how will this money be recaptured in future years? There are definitely concerns of much higher taxes pending.
I think, yeah, look, that's a good question. I think it's a tough one too. At some point, we're going to have to find ways to get the budget back under control. When we're looking at an annualized budget of almost 800 billion a year, when the previously highest budget deficit was around 50 billion during a very large economic recession, we're talking about a debt tsunami that is washing over this country right now. And as we all know, at certain times, we will all choose to spend a lot of money on certain things. And at some point, you actually have to start repaying that money. And it's always fun to spend money. It's never fun to pay the money back. I know that myself. But at some point, even governments have to look at ways that they're going to repay money that's gone out the door. And this is going to be the real challenge for governments all across the world, but particularly in Canada, as we look at the next 6 months to the next 2 years. At what point do you turn off some of the funding that's going out to Canadians? At what point do you feel like the economy is going to be capable of restarting itself without as much government intervention? And then at what point do you have to look at finding ways to not only just eliminate the budgetary deficit, but then try and have a budgetary surplus where you can start paying down some of that debt? So I think what we should be seeing from this government that's going to be delivering a throne speech on September 23rd is a real plan on how that they're going to chart this course. How much money do they anticipate they're going to be spending over the next 6 months to 2 years? What will that budgetary deficit look like? What will the accumulated debt of the country look like? And what is the plan to eventually bring us back to a balanced budget and pay down some debt? That's what I'd like to see in the throne speech on September 23rd. But if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I'd be betting that we aren't going to get any of that information, because we were supposed to have a budget in February or March. We didn't get one. We got some loosey-goosey fiscal update a little while ago, and no concrete plans as to when we're actually going to see a budget, which to me is just unbelievable. We got hundreds of billions of dollars being spent, and the government saying we're not going to produce a budget. So tough times at some point for this government with tough decisions. I'm hoping we'll see the roadmap in a couple of weeks.
If I could just add something,
Yep.
The only good thing right now is the cost of money is at historic lows. So we're very fortunate to be in that position right now. And you wonder what's going to happen with, are we going to see a COVID sales tax? Are we going to see, I don't know, some creative way to the government to recoup some of this money spent? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to hear that throne speech, that's for sure.
Absolutely.